Give me one more and then have it go into color.
Right?
Boom.
I'm going to add that. When I redo the intro, I'm going to add that just for you. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to The Truth About Beer and...
Oh, this is paranormal talk.
But we like the background, so we're leaving this background up. So
yeah, that looks like the one from Parapalooza. Oh,
not supposed to say anything.
I'm sorry. Strike that. Can we take that out in the editing?
No.
Oh,
live.
This is live. I'm sorry.
So we are continuing our countdown to the Las Cruces Paracon, which is happening this coming weekend.
So excited.
A lot of fun. And as a matter of fact, our beer tonight is a local New Mexico brew from De La Vega's. It's a pecan beer. We had it last time we were there, and it is absolutely delicious. So we figured we would feature that tonight on the show.
I don't believe that I tried it.
You didn't at the beer place with us?
I did the it was an IPA that I did there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
so
I remember you saying how delicious this.
It's the first time for you.
Yeah.
So you're a pecan beer virgin, I guess. I would say.
Never mind.
Sorry, I won't go there. So Wendy was the first on tonight. We got Kathleen, Aragon Stories, Super Horror Show. Welcome, Mike.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody. Heavy Metal Beer Club. Thanks for joining us, guys. We got a great show for you tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are super excited to be here. This is a big event. It's going to be a blast, man. They got such a great lineup for this weekend. I can't wait to meet. We've had quite a few people on our show. Hey, Darren, what's happening?
Shadow Man.
So the last couple of weeks, we've been kind of leading up to the event, having different guests on that are going to be speakers there at the event. So it's really been a lot of fun. And let's try the beer first.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So it's actually Sierra Blanca Brewing Company.
Oh, okay. What is De La
So that
Vega's
must be
then?
maybe that's where they got the pecans from.
Oh, it could be.
Maybe it's De La Vega's pecan orchard. Or pecan orchard? I guess it would be an orchard.
It would
be trees. Orchard. Yeah.
It's only a 5.39 now. So we could have a few of these.
Well, yeah. That makes it good.
And luckily we have a few. Of course, it's a green bottle, so, it's going to disappear. But anyway, to whoever you guys are drinking out there tonight, cheers to you guys.
Yes, cheers.
Give this one a try.
That smells wonderful. It smells more.
It's so good. God, it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm savoring this moment, so,
Yeah,
you can taste the pecan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can taste almost like a caramel pecan. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few things happening in there.
It's like a festival in your
trying
mouth.
to put my tongue on it.
No, it's really good. It's good beer.
Wow.
So we stumbled upon it. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the town. It's the little town that we went to where the Double Eagle is.
Messia.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little cigar bar, whiskey bar there, where they serve this on tap, which was delicious on tap. And then we found out, oh, by the way, the brewery is only 10 minutes from here. So we went and bought a case of it before we left New Mexico last time. So delicious beer, absolutely delicious. So yeah, we have a great show for you guys tonight. We're actually going to bring on Vicki, who set this whole event up. And this is her doing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Vicki on the show. Good evening, Vicki.
Hi, Keith. Hi, Joey. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Our pleasure. Yes.
Yes, it's definitely our pleasure.
And you know what? It's really nice to see you without a mask on.
Right?
Every time. Well, the first time I think we met y'all, it was during COVID. Mm-hmm. And so we were all kind of wearing masks at that time. But then after that, really, every time I go into the old courthouse, I wear a mask because I have horrible allergies. Right. Horrible. And so the mask kind of helps me in there some. So, yeah, I apologize.
No, it's great.
Wearing mask everywhere.
We are so excited about this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. It really is.
You have a great lineup.
You do.
And since we've had the pleasure of having a few of them on here, it's just really making it exciting for us. So
I've seen some of those interviews. I've only spoken to the speakers basically through email and a couple of phone calls here and there, but I haven't really had an opportunity to sit down and really chat with them and get to know them. So it was exciting for me to watch y'all's podcast and live stream to kind of get to know them a little better. So yeah, it's going to be so much fun. We do have a great lineup.
Yeah, it was neat to get to kind of question them a little bit and get to learn about their background a little bit. Now we actually get to physically meet them, so that's going to be really interesting. So
right,
it's be a lot of fun. So I'll let you kind of give people that don't know, that maybe didn't watch the episode that you were in with us on the Doniana, maybe give a little history about how you come to be a part of that and how you come to be a part of actually doing this event. So
okay, well, I've been interested in the paranormal basically all my life. Grew up with my mom interested in it, and she drugged me to different mediums while she got read. And at that time, I was kind of scared of it. You know, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. But many, many years later, I kind of fell back into it. And one of the reasons was because my son had bought a house in Alamogordo, New Mexico, about 60 miles from here. And he bought the house just after the woman had passed away. And so her husband and family were selling the home. So I went over there one day and took my little recorder, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to talk to this spirit. And so, you know, I said, you know, Mrs. So-and-so, you know, this is Vicki, and I'm here to visit with you. Do you like what my son's doing with your house? And then all of a sudden I stopped, and I'm like, what in the world am I going to do if I hear a voice? I'm going to get up and haul out of here, because, you know, I didn't think about it. So I put my recorder down and recorded 3 days and 3 nights in there. And a year later, I went back and listened to those recordings. Oh, and wow. Oh my gosh, it was so active. They were calling my name out. Just an incredible house. And so naturally that got me hooked.
Right.
Fast forward 10 years or more. In 2017, we were able to go into the old Doniana County courthouse and jail. And I was really excited about that, because I retired as a detention officer with the Doniana County Detention Center, and I actually started my career in that building. So I worked there for a while, and I knew some of the women had said, you know, that they had heard things and they had seen things. And right. Of course, I was the hardworking employee, and I just passed it off and went about my job, right? But anyways, I was really excited to get in there. And actually, one night when I was in there, I was able to capture a shadow figure in the female section. And a few days later, I went back to try to capture him again. And I got a voice from him saying, the shadow man, to take it out. I'm hiding. So basically he was telling me, take the cameras out. He's hiding. You're not going to capture me. And I didn't. Right. And I haven't ever since. But it's just an incredible building. They're going to turn that building into a 4-star hotel at some point. And in order to become a 4-star hotel, you have to have an on-site tour company working. And so they approached my partner, David Kreider from Southwest Expeditions, because he conducts tours and different expeditions throughout the Southwest here. Approached him, would you be, you know, willing to come in this building, kind of watch it for us? And sure enough, he said yes. And so through David, I met David and told him, you know, it's haunted, and he didn't believe me. And I showed him some things, and then he started experiencing things himself. So since that time, I created Out West Paranormal Investigations, and have basically been investigating the old Doniana County Courthouse and Jail for 4 years, almost 5 years now, exclusively. So that's, and then we were down there one night, him and David and I, and I was talking to him, and it just came to me. I said, you know, David, we should have a Paracon. And he's like, what is that? I said, well, it's a paranormal convention, a paranormal conference. You bring in speakers and they talk about their different fields and you get a lot of information out. They're real big back east and maybe some out west, but we don't have anything like that here.
Right.
And so, yeah, we were talking, and then I was just like, what did I get myself into? Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it, you know? So that's the history. That's the beginning. And that was actually in 2020. We weren't able to conduct or hold the convention in 2020. So we tried again this year. So this is our first annual Las Cruces Paracon. And hopefully we'll have it, from here on out.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Especially being a part of the first one. That's really exciting.
An honor and a privilege.
Yes, that's really cool. So I know the last time we were there, Vicki, you shared some evidence that you captured in the jail with us, and I was just blown away by some of the evidence that you guys have received in there. And for anybody who hasn't seen the jail, it really is. It's an incredible place. I mean, you get lost in there very easily.
Yeah.
It's a huge building. It's 37,000 square feet, 3 stories. It was actually built in 1937. President Roosevelt had the program where he was getting people back to work. And so it's made out of concrete and steel. So being a 1937 building, it's more solid today than some of these buildings being built today.
Right.
It's extremely sturdy. The jail annex on the bottom floor was actually built on in 1969.
Okay. And when you look at it from the outside, it looks like a typical stucco West style building. You know what I mean?
That's a cool looking building.
Right. It is. It's really cool. So,
yeah. And it is extremely active and haunted. Yeah. In fact,
we can attest to that.
Yeah. Y'all have come up with some pretty good evidence yourself, You can almost guarantee every time going in there, you come out with some sort of EVP at least or something.
Yeah.
We were in there Saturday kind of cleaning up some and getting ready for this. And Saturday, I don't know about y'all over there, but here it was kind of rainy and stormy off and on all day, just rain and quit and rain and quit. And what I've noticed is that building gets extremely active when it's raining and thundering and everything outside. And we were up in the courtroom and one of those doors over there kept opening and closing. And which is something that has been caught on camera before,
Yep.
And, I thought it was pretty cool. My granddaughter was a little leery and kept looking over there at it, and she didn't run out of the building. That's good. But, so, yeah, they're definitely awake in that building.
Yeah, and the first time we experienced anything there was a thunderstorm that rolled through that night, and it was a pretty intense thunderstorm, and the activity just picked up from that point forward. Yeah. But then, last time we were there, we had some really cool stuff. Like
the EVPs were unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. We had a lot of mimicking going on. It was a totally different type of evidence that we got, but it was fascinating what we did pull out of there. It was really cool. So.
And I can't even tell you how there's numerous spirits in there. They're not, I would say, demonic or really evil or anything. However, we have had people scratched in there on several occasions. I had a group of girls going through, about 16-year-old girls one night. And before I could get one girl out of there, she was scratched 5 times.
Wow.
5 times before I could actually just say, okay, that's it. We're leaving. Let's go.
Wow. 5 times.
So,
I would almost think she would have left with an attachment
right
at that point.
That's crazy.
I couldn't believe her. She was like, well, hey, look, I got another one. And I'm like, put the But I didn't want to say too much and frighten her a whole lot. I'm just like, okay, it's time to go.
Right. Well, June just popped on. You want me to bring June on so you can kind of introduce her and say hi? Okay.
Yes.
So this is June Lundgren.
Hi.
Hey, June, how you doing?
pretty good now that my link was working. Had an issue with my link. It's like,
That happens sometimes with StreamYard.
yeah, drive me crazy.
Well, thanks for jumping on with us today. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
So, real quick, Vicki, I wanted to bring up that story you had mentioned the last time because it really creeped me out and it kind of stuck with me ever since you said it. But you were talking about in one case you had some footsteps through the dust on the courtroom floor. There was it the courtroom floor? I think it was. That freaked me out.
Yeah. We went in there on it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and there hadn't been anybody in the building for, I don't know, about a week or so. But we went in there and went upstairs, and we found some footprints leading from the courtroom through another room into the east side, and then the trail came right back in the same direction. And so there was no other footprints around going anywhere else, just over there and back. And they were just really odd looking footprints. I mean, the like extremely long toes and just really strange. That's the first time I've seen them like that, and I haven't seen them again. But yes, we did record those footsteps in there, or footprints, pardon me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was dragging its foot then. If the toe was really long or something. Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. It's really strange. Really.
Huh.
Well, we should have Vicki introduce June.
Yes.
Because
yes.
Okay. Well, June, we're so glad to have June here. June Lundgren is a seer. And I was really excited when she was explaining to me about, a demon seer and what that is, and then all the other talents that she has as well. I thought she would be a fantastic addition to our group, and I'm just so glad she agreed to come down and talk with us. So with that being said, hi, June. I'm Vicki.
You're on mute.
We finally get to meet.
Yes, yes.
So June, you haven't been down in New Mexico to the jail or anything like that yet?
No, I haven't been there. I've driven like through New Mexico on my way to Texas. I have friends that live in Texas,
okay.
But since then, I have some friends with my brother's group, paranormal group, and they'll be joining me down there.
Okay, sweet. That'll be fun. I'm excited to see what you think of the jail when you actually walk through it.
Mm-hmm. It's quite the gem.
Yeah, it's just, when I see a picture of it, and I did look at the picture, I pick up what's there. So it should be interesting. So
Vicki said that you were a seer. Are you a demonologist then? Is that the way it would translate?
I don't like that term. Okay. I've run into too many fake ones.
Right.
In my time. But no, and when I started helping people about 40 years ago, I was like, I don't really want to call myself a demonologist, because demonologist really just studies demons.
Right.
But I actually remove them and I can kill them. So it's a little bit different. My grandmother, who's been dead since 79, she said, well, why don't you call yourself what we do in Ireland? We call you a demon seer.
Okay.
Someone who can communicate, understand, and see them in their true form and remove them.
Interesting.
I like Demon Slayer. That sounds
that
sounds cool.
It's kind of like what I am. I died in a motorcycle accident in 1988 for the second time. And when I was on the other side, and Michael was there, the archangel, and he's like, you need to understand who and what you are. He says, that's why you're here now. He said, all your life you've been able to see them and to hear them and to understand them. He said, but you need to start doing what you're meant to do. And I said, well, what is that? And
finish that thought.
You can finish the thought.
And he says, you are Ariel, the archangel. Your soul belongs to Ariel. She was resent She was sent back to live human lives until she learned to have compassion for mankind. And it all started in 1198 AD when she ripped a demon out of a woman and the woman died. God said, you have no compassion. You're going to go back and relive human lives until you learn. So this is her last life number 131. So she'll be able to go back and stay there. But so I've always known I have abilities towards that. But until I went there, I didn't know that that's who and what I was.
Right.
And he says, you're going to start doing the removal. He says, I'm going to do what I call a merge. So he touched my forehead and I'm able to see through her eyes, hear what she hears, feel what she feels. And people say that when she comes forward, I have wings that come out of my shoulders and my eyes turn white and my face and voice changes. So I have the physical manifestations.
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. That's crazy.
It was happening for years before. I always wondered why people looked at me weird. Until one day my friend says, this is what happens. I'm like, nah, I'm a little busy removing demons. So, and I don't have a mirror. And even if I did, I was busy.
Right. So is it a form of reincarnation then? I mean, we talk about that with reincarnation. So
it is really, because this is, like I said, this is her 131st lifetime. And God says, you need to learn patience. And I'm like, if she hasn't learned patience in 131 lifetimes, I don't think she's going to in this one. Really, I don't think so.
I love to hear you say that, because our co-host that's not with us tonight, unfortunately, he believes, I think wholeheartedly, that reincarnation is you keep coming back until you get it right. So
right.
And then when you get it right, you go, then that's your final journey and you go to heaven.
Yeah, that's about it.
Or whatever you believe.
Well, you go back home. Yeah, you go back home.
Right. So that's interesting. So I throw questions up on the screen, not to throw you off from your thought, but I put them up there so we don't lose them somewhere in the conversation. So Heavy Metal Beer Club asked, what did you pick up in looking at the jail picture?
I picked up a lot of death, but it's not related to the building itself.
Okay.
It's related to the land more than anything. The building, it's relatively nothing. It's the ghosts and stuff that walk through it, seeing the land and seeing how it was back in their time. So that's what I pick up on, is that this is all landlocked. It's attached to the land itself. And these people are just living, they see it in their time.
Right.
They don't see it in our time.
Okay. So are we talking Native American or
both? White and Native American.
Okay. Because I think, Vicki, that area was pretty heavily in the sorry, I can't talk. Heavy in the Native American population, right? I mean,
Native American and Hispanic.
Right.
Coming up from Spaniards coming up from Mexico. El Camino Real runs through here, which was the long trail that led from Mexico City up to Santa Fe. But I believe, June, I believe that wholeheartedly, that it is connected to the land, because there's really just not that much excitement in the history of the building, if you will. Like some buildings, you hear of horrific deaths have occurred and this and that, but that's not the case with this. And so I've always kind of believed that it had more to do with just the land around it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I live on the Oregon Trail, literally on the Oregon Trail. And for years, there was a little girl that used to pop into my car when I was on my way to work. And she died of smallpox on the trail about a couple of miles from here. And she didn't want to cross. She didn't want to go to the other side. She was busy. She would like to see, she could see the change. She could see the passage of time. And she was curious, and she would visit the homes and things like that. And she would pop into my car all the time. It took me a year and a half to convince her to cross, but eventually I did. But a lot of them, it's landlocked.
Right.
And that's what it is there. There's, I see an older Hispanic woman that comes through the land. It's like she died on the way somewhere. She was headed somewhere, like kind of like the Oregon Trail or the Trail of Tears. She was headed somewhere where she was expecting a newer life. And then I see a couple of Native Americans, a male and a female, and they're kind of like guardians of the land. They remind me a lot of elementals in the way that they guard the land. They want respect for the land. And it means a lot, guardians. And there's a couple of white people there. One was a medical doctor. He was an early medical doctor. We're talking about the days of, Boot Hill.
Okay.
And I guess you wouldn't call it a medical doctor these days, but that's what passed for a medical doctor. And there's a woman wearing a pinafore, and she has dark brown hair, and she has it pulled up in a bun, and she's very forthright. She's like, but they don't see the building. They can see the people, but really it's only the people that they choose to interact with. They don't see the change of time. They would see them as if you were in their time, dressed in their time. They don't see you dressed in jeans and, leather jacket,
That's interesting. Yeah. And Wendy's question kind of stands out because in her experiences there's a particular spot in the jail where she gets a very, how would you describe it? It really
foreboding.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that'd be the best word to use. Just a real heavy feeling. I mean, it affects her in a major way. And every time we go there, she has that effect with this one particular spirit that's there. I mean, I don't want to say he's dark because I don't believe he means any malice, but he's he kind of takes her over. Yeah. I mean, it's really kind of frightening to see what
he's Hispanic. He's very much wanting to be in control, like a boss. Trail boss. You know how they had trail bosses that ran, the cattle and stuff like that and the people through. And that was him. He was very violent person. He was not, but he felt that he had to be violent in order to make people respect him.
Okay.
It's just like, I'm doing what I'm doing, and you're going to abide by it, and you're going to do what I say. And if you didn't, you paid the price.
Right. Yeah, it's always interesting because it's always the same exact spot in the jail where she picks up on this person.
Yeah, it's a lot of, like I said, that's where he claims his space.
Okay. But it's not necessarily like you said, it's not necessarily the jail in particular.
It's not the building. Right. It's the spot where he died, actually.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, he died there, and it's about, he says, this is mine. I own this. This is where I need to be.
So were we looked upon as intruders in his area, and that's why he's so forceful?
Right.
Or
you don't, because he has the awareness of the people, but like I said, he doesn't see him as dressed in today's clothing. He sees him dressed as how he was, that his time frame.
Right.
And he's very much in control. Nobody moves without him knowing about it. So if you're moving through there, and he gets very frustrated because most people can't hear him, most people can't see him. So the ones that can feel him or sense him or see him, he wants them to know that he's there, and that's all there is to it. This is his.
Well, that's another interesting thing, though. I think while we're there, we should use the the app on the phone for translating into Spanish
Oh, true.
what we want to ask.
True.
You know, to see
Esteban.
if we get.
Esteban.
Esteban is his name?
Yeah, Esteban.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's interesting because my cousin was Spanish, not Mexican. He was Spanish, and his name was Jose Esteban Garcia IV. And so he made me see the Esteban. So
When he says he seems to try to make me feel angry at times and emotional, she gets very emotional. I've never seen.
It's not her anger. It's like being an empath. You pick up on other people's emotions,
right?
And that's what he's doing. She's picking up on his emotions and his frustration, his anger.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he seems to come on her like the wind. You know,
quick,
I mean,
it's
it's
quick.
just really quick. He just engulfs her.
He sees her as weak. For some reason, he sees her as weak.
That's interesting because Wendy's
she's not. She's not. But in his world, she is weak.
Right.
Maybe for that time.
Yeah, some of the things she's saying really, really hits home because that area that Wendy feels all of that, and it happens every time, is the same area where I captured the picture of the shadow man. And I really honestly believe he is like that. He doesn't want to be bothered. He just assumed everybody just leave him alone, and this is my space, just leave. Because we've gotten numerous EVPs with him on saying, leave or get out, or, and it's basically just leave me alone.
He had a heavy accent, but he's had, to me, it sounds like a heavy accent, Hispanic accent, but he spoke English when he wanted to.
Okay.
He's dealing with cattle rustlers,
right?
Yeah.
During that time,
yeah, all kinds of things back then.
So, do you recommend a way that we can reach out to him and have a conversation with him, other than the physical?
Well,
aspect of it?
When I'm there, I'll have a conversation with him,
and
I'll let him know, that that's not acceptable. It's like, when you deal with demons, a human spirit's nothing. So
right.
Like, it's like, yeah, okay. It's fun when I get to deal with a human one.
right. A lot easier, huh?
yeah. The demons are just like, I don't even talk to them. It's like, goodbye.
Well, let's talk about demons for a second if we can, because we've had a lot of debate on this show with a lot of different people over demons. We get some people that don't believe in them, some people that do believe in them, some people that are mixed on them. We also hear that demons they've never been human. They've never walked the earth.
Like
is
elementals.
That true, or what's your
that's
take?
true. They've never, people think that demons are always demons, and demons were not always demons. We started out on a planet billions of light years from here, millions of years ago, and we had physical form at that time. When God found us, we were a primitive society. We had a lot of fighting, a lot of warring, a lot of petty stuff.
Sounds familiar.
He came.
Right.
Yeah, really. He came and he helped cure diseases and stop the wars. And it took thousands of years for that to happen. But once it did, the whole goal as a society at that time was in the pursuit of knowledge, pursuit of experience and knowledge. But we evolved into pure energy over time. And once everyone had evolved, we traveled as a group among the stars for thousands of years, until one day, 3/4 of the group said, you know what? We're tired of this. We've seen everything we could see. We've watched new cultures grow. We've watched, planets become. We've watched, supernovas. We want to have physical bodies again. We want to know physical love. We want to have children. We want to know what it is to touch things, to feel things. And that's what started the whole war between heaven and hell, because it wasn't hell at the time. It was Lucifer was always waiting for a chance to take over. God knew that it would happen, that it would happen. It was just a matter of when. So he prepared on his own for that. He created the Legion of Light, which is comprised of Michael, Raphael, Ariel, and Gabriel. And they, in turn, taught warrior angels. And they taught more until there was an army. If you would equate it to the physical world, they would be an elite sniper team, SEAL team. They're the best of the best. They are demon slayers. And he knew someday that Lucifer would raise his hand against him. And that at that time, he used that excuse. I don't want to be physical. I don't want to have a physical body. I don't want to be in a shell. I don't want to be subject to disease, to pain, to growing old. I don't want none of that. And that's what caused the division. And once the fight was over, Lucifer was disarmed by Michael, and his son was disarmed by Ariel. And God told him, I'm going to give you exactly what you want. You'll never be able to take on physical form. You'll never be able to be reborn into the physical world. He said, but you can't live among us anymore. So he opened a rift into a dark dimension, and he put them in there and sealed the dimension. And there are archangels guarding it. And at first, they were fine with it. They're like, Lucifer's like, this is my realm now. These are my followers. And I'm glad we don't have to be among them anymore. But over time, they grew angry and resentful, and they wanted revenge. And that's why they attack humans. That's why they center their, revenge on humans, because every human that lives has a white light soul within it. It's called payback. So that's why they weren't always bad. And most demons have a little bitty spark of white still in them. But, when something, triggers it, they have a tendency to to snuff it out really quick.
Right.
But once in a great while, you'll find one that will let it grow. This happened about 3 years ago. I came across a demon. I'd removed these demons from a warehouse. And one of them was an old demon. And the old demons are highly intelligent. And he's like, I kicked him out of there. I said, yeah, you're lucky I don't kill you. But he came to Ariel and he said, listen, I want you to help me. And she looked at him and she's like, you're different. You're no longer completely dark. And he says, I've let the light grow. And she asked him if he wanted to return to the light. And he said, no, what I want to do is I want to be a liaison between the living and the dark. He said, but I don't know how that's going to go over with Lucifer or the others. He says, I want you to talk to him about it and see if he'll let me do that. And so Ariel went to Lucifer and said, this is what's up. This is, what he wants to do. And he said, well, I have to talk among the old demons. So a couple days later, I heard him say, it's allowed. And I call him Herb because I'm not going to say his demon name. I call him Herb. I told him, Herb, I said, congratulations, you got the job. So from time to time, he's sought my help for humans. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by that.
Me too.
It almost sounds like it's funny when it's not funny, but when you talk about it, you almost picture like Greek mythology in your mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the archangels and stuff like that.
You talk about Greek mythology. You don't come across a harpy.
Right.
There's a type of demon that looks a lot like a harpy, and I ran into them. Oh God, about 10 years ago. I was coming home at night. It was winter, and it was blacker than blackout. And all of a sudden I hear these like wings. I'm like, where the heck is that coming from? Looking, you know, trying to see what's going on. And then the next thing I know, I see these things like flying by. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? And Michael's like, keep going, do not stop, just keep driving. Because if you keep driving, they won't notice you. I said, it wouldn't matter if they did, but that's weird. You know, because they have like these, they have talons for hands and feet. And they have like these leathery type of wings. They don't have angelic wings, or even demons have different wings. And I'm like, alrighty then. Okay. Now I've seen everything. Almost everything. I'm like, okay.
You know, when we say like angels having wings, and I hadn't heard of the demons having wings and stuff, but
they do.
I think in that dimension, is that just a visual effect? I mean, because I don't see where
our brain interprets it as how they wish us to perceive them. So, like, if you run into a demon, it will look into your mind, and it will find your idea, your picture of what they should look like. So they use that and they multiply it by 10 so that they can elicit fear.
So it's like you can run, but you can't hide because...
Right. Yeah. And they want to elicit fear in the individual because they feed off of the negative emotions, the negative energy attached to the emotions. And so the bigger and the badder and scarier they are, the more fear they'll elicit in the individual. That's just what they do. That's their MO. You know, they can't do that with me, but yeah. Look, I'm like, really? Okay. Whatever you say.
So now, you know, for most people, you talk about demons and they think the idea is ludicrous, right? I mean, most people who don't understand the paranormal realm of things. So my question is how come more people don't see them? Is it only because they present themselves to who they want to present themselves
exactly.
to? Or
they pick victims. They have a certain criteria that they go through in order to find a victim.
Right.
And a lot of people believe that, oh, you know, if you're very religious or you have a lot of faith, that you'll never have to deal with them. But that's not true. I've come across many that have a lot of faith and they become victims because for the demon, it's a challenge. You know, it's like, ooh, I get a feather in my cap if I turn this one to the dark, or I make them turn away from God, you know, turn them away from the light. But they choose their victims carefully. And I have a book called The Dark Side of the Paranormal. And it gives away the demon's secrets. It gives away their weaknesses. It gives away how they work, you know, what they fear, all of that sort of thing. It does that.
Huh. It's kind of creepy if you think about it.
Well, you know, I've
had
people say, you know what? I don't believe in demons. And I'm like, well, that's cool because they believe in you.
Right. and we get a mix. We get a mixed opinion. We get some people who absolutely say there are demons. We've had some, I know you don't like the word, but we've had some demonologists on that really, you know, give us credible witness, you know, that there are demons out there, and
there are.
It's interesting to see kind of both sides of it.
Yeah, that's true. I've dealt with them since I've been seeing them since I was a little kid. You know, since before I could. When I was about 4.5, 5 years old is when it changed. Before that, I saw them as most humans do, with, you know, either a big mask, or a cloud of black, or something like that. But about that time, my angelic visions kicked in, and I saw them in their true form.
Okay.
And they're, you know, I was on Ghost Adventures, and Zach Baggins, I told him, I said, you do not want to see what I see. And he's like, yes, I do. He didn't want to afterwards. He let go of my hand in a hurry.
I'm sure he did.
He ran out of the hotel, and I'm like, all righty then.
That's just.
Oh no.
Now, which episode was that?
It
That sounds
was-
so familiar.
It was Graveyards of the Pacific. It was the Norblad Hostel
Okay.
Oh, I remember
because
that
it's
one.
Astoria, Oregon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they had
I
a whole
had been-
series on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had been down investigating it in February of that year, and we filmed the thing in April of that year, and I had removed the demon at that time. And when I went there, it's like, oh well, the producer says, well, don't take out any demons until we do our walk through our investigation. And that's when I thought, I'm thinking to myself, no, because this old demon, when I got there, I'm like, I told Zach, I said, do you remember the demon that took your sight in the demon house? He's like, yeah. I said, that's who's waiting for you down there.
Oof.
I said, he has a message for you, and if you should really listen to him. He didn't want to hear it though. And I'm like, hey, whatever. He's like, well, I've dealt with demons before. And I thought to myself, yeah, baby, you wish.
Not in this capacity, right?
Not in the way this one was. This was an old demon. He is old, nasty, powerful.
That was a great series too. I remember watching that series. That was really good.
I took him out before I left. They could play with the lesser demon that was there and the little creepy crawly dudes.
Yeah, a lot of energy in this story. That's a crazy place.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because of it. It's a perfect location. I mean, the basement is like unfinished almost, and then of course you got the river close by,
Yep.
and the ocean's not that far away.
Not that far, yeah.
So you've got all that. It's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
Kind of like when I went to Alcatraz. It's like, really, okay, whatever.
So Wendy was asking Vicki, can you tell us about the little feet and the blood on the walls at the jail?
The blood on the walls do not pertain to the jail itself. If you could see what I see, it's on the ground. It's actually on the ground, but it appears on the walls in the structure. And the feet that was a baby. There was a massacre, an Indian baby. There was a massacre of the Indians. Oh God. And the baby was the only one left. And it eventually died. But it walked through the blood and died.
Wow. So, Vicki, how long's that been there on the walls?
It's actually on the floor. And some on the walls, but it is mostly the big, huge pool that we found was on the floor. And that was back in, I want to say that was back in 2017 also, but it wasn't there on previous investigations when we had gone in and walkthroughs. We discovered it at one point when we were in there. We had a detective go in there and he tested it and said, yes, it was human blood. But it was a lot of it, like somebody bled out there. Mm-hmm. And the footprint Wendy is referring to is there was a little child's footprint of blood right beside that big stain. And there wasn't any other footprints leading to it. There wasn't any other footprints going away from it. Just that one little child's footprint by that blood. And we have absolutely no clue where that came from or.
It's, I've seen things that have been, people have died, like centuries ago, and then the blood reoccurs. It's fresh. It's kind of like a stigmata type of thing, but it actually brings it into the physical world.
That's crazy.
That is crazy because, like I said, for that amount of blood that was in there, and I think y'all saw it,
Yeah.
It's hard to miss.
Yeah.
Somebody would have had to bleed out. Yeah.
Exactly. And there wasn't even like any trail of somebody
Right.
dragging a body out or anything.
It's just there. I
It
can
was
see it
just
in my mind. It's just
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Just a huge pool of blood there.
Yeah.
What?
And it's
I've been to England. I've been to England, and I've seen some of those things over there too. I have family that live over there, so
that's cool. I'd like to go to England.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to take some pictures of it this weekend while we're there
Mhm.
for sure, and put it up on our site or present it on a show, because I don't think we've ever gotten pictures of it.
I don't
The
think
thing
so.
of that
I know
is-
I've got some video of it.
Oh, do
I
you?
can pull, yeah.
You got some video of that area? It's covered in dust so much, an abandoned building, and after
Mhm.
4 years, but sometimes it'll rain, or if you have water on your foot or something from walking in from the rain and you step on it, immediately it turns to bright red. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, it's a mystery that we still don't know anything about today. We don't know where it came from or what happened.
Huh. That's crazy. Because it gives you a creepy feeling when you walk by it. I can tell you that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joey, you could probably see the screen better than I can. I don't see what this person's name is. Veridiana, I think it is. It says, my daughter says she sees demons all the time.
That could very well be. They're ever, there are, if you're talking about children have the ability to see, just like animals have the ability to see them. It doesn't mean they like them, but you can also get a human spirit that can show itself as a shadow person or as a devil. It just depends upon the spirit. If they have enough energy, if they have enough power, because really, even the human spirits will look into your mind and put thoughts into your head.
I think I've seen that happen before. Did you find your video? Oh, you're looking for it still?
Oh, it's not.
So-
Let me review it.
Oh, Heavy Metal Beer Club wants to know what the criteria for picking a human is. I mean, the demons.
Okay, what they look for is they look for someone who they're attracted by people with abuse of like drugs or alcohol, somebody who's been physically abused or grew up in an abusive situation or is currently in an abusive situation. They look for people with mental illness. They look for people with low self-esteem. They look for people with little to no faith. They look for someone who's a loner. They look for someone who wants to, there are people that want to be a part of a gang because it's being a part of something.
Right.
So they look for all of these things. They look for somebody who's naturally inclined to be into dark things, like they may be studying Satanism or watching a lot of movies that end up having that sort of thing in it and stuff. It's it's a whole range. Sometimes it's just you're in the wrong place at the right time.
Right.
Because the one thing I tell people when I lecture and they're doing paranormal investigations is, if you see what you think is a demon, do not acknowledge it. To acknowledge it is to
Use
make
power.
it see you, and you don't want them to see you. It's kind of like being in New York at 5:00 and everybody's headed for the underground at the same way. They're all going the same direction. But you have the one person that goes against the grain and everybody's, got to move out of the way.
Right.
That it sees you.
Right. So do you think people who have, what's the word I want to use? Maybe addictive personalities, are they more apt to attract attention to demons?
Yeah. And it's kind of like you have the creepy crawly dudes. There's the old demons. There's a hierarchy. There's the old demons, the lesser demons, which are the younger, stupider, hormonally driven ones. I liken them to hormonal teenagers. They're out there to party and to cause as much problems as possible.
Right.
And then you have the minions, which are the shadow people or the little creepy crawly dudes. The little creepy crawly dudes are the ones that go out and look for victims. They're bosses, the lesser demons. They don't lower themselves. It's the creepy crawly dudes will go out and pimp them. They'll find the ones that they think will work, and they'll study them for a little while. And once they think that they're good, then they'll tell their boss, and the lesser demon will watch them for a while and to make the decision whether to attach or not. That's the thing. You could have a demon watching you for years and not even knowing it. Years,
I think I
weeks,
prefer
months, but they do that because they have all the time in the world.
Right.
We don't have that time, but they have all the time in the world. And they don't have time on the other side, and it moves differently than it does here.
I was doing real good until she said loner, because nothing else matched me until she said loner, and I'm like, oh no.
By loner, I mean someone without any kind of support system. Because one of the first things they do is
I'm a hermit. Never mind. I'm not a loner. I'm a hermit.
What they do is they try to isolate you. They try to get you away from your support system. They try to drive everyone away. It makes you easier to influence. They'll talk to you in your head. They'll tell you that you'll never, get away from them. They're going to kill you. They're going to kill your family. And they'll just keep repeating it over and over again until you believe it.
No, I'd say if they were watching me for all that time, I would prefer that I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when they make the decision to attach that you'll know right away. Yeah.
Boy, Heavy Metal Beer Club's on a roll tonight. So they're asking now, how do you take out a demon? That's an interesting question.
Quite simple. When their reality is different than ours. Okay. So it's a different dimension. So when Ariel comes forward, she still lives within that dimension. They don't have like guns and machine guns and stuff like that. They fight with white light swords. The archangels have white light swords. The dark ones have dark, and they're made of dark energy and they're made of light energy. And it's like hand-to-hand combat, so to speak, like the days of Joan of Arc, the Crusades. They fight that way. And once the archangel slices through the demon, it ceases to exist. I can see it. It's almost like you cut into a bag of sand. It's scattered. The molecules scatter among the stars. It just ceases to exist. That's one of their greatest fears, is death, because they can't come back.
Right.
And only an angel can kill them. Humans cannot kill them. Only the angels can kill them.
So the role of I know you don't like the word, but the role of the demonologist to get rid of the demons, what are they doing? Are they merely just getting rid of them for the time being, but they're still around?
Yeah, they're just like kicking them out of the house or
Evicting
building
them, huh?
Yeah, they're evicting them basically. But if you don't kill them, they'll just come right back again.
Yeah, when you said they scattered and all that once they were killed, I had this vision of stepping on one of those big spiders, and all of a sudden it burst into a bunch of tiny baby spiders.
No,
that wouldn't be a good thing.
No, it's like black sand. The molecules just spread. It just disintegrates.
Interesting.
That's a good thing.
It's always fun to watch. It's always fun to watch.
So I love this question because this opens up a whole can of worms here.
No.
At this question.
The answer to that's no.
Okay. Yeah.
Totally two different things.
Yeah.
Two separate things.
Because we get involved a lot with talking about, ancient times where, they talk about aliens, and we've even had the conversation of maybe God is really an alien. Maybe we all came from what we perceive as aliens. You know what I mean?
Right,
we have our own perception of what it is. So I always find those questions interesting.
Yeah, the real aliens, it's like, I don't like that. They look for people with telepathic abilities because that's prized among them, because they they communicate telepathically. I was like 8 months pregnant. One summer, we had a big picture window and I had a couch under it, and I couldn't sleep, so I was laying on it, and I saw this one come straight towards the house, and then go straight up, and I'm like, alrighty then, I don't want that anymore, because I could hear what they were thinking, and I don't want that, so I shut down. Like, no.
That's a whole different show.
That is a whole different show.
Whole different show. Yeah, they're not my favorites.
So I want to ask you something interesting that happened to us the last time we were at the jail, and found it really fascinating, and almost for me it was unbelievable until I heard it. But what's your thoughts on mimicking, as far as spirits mimicking people's voices that are alive?
Oh yeah, they do that a lot.
Do you have that recording by chance?
I never did get that from.
Oh, you never did get that?
No.
Okay.
Shadow Man has that.
It was really interesting.
Yeah,
Really
they can do that, no problem. Yeah, because they really aren't talking.
Right.
They make you hear what they want you to hear. That's why you have to discern with even human spirits. I was called in up in Vancouver there was a kids theater, and they said, there's this shadow person that's lurking on the back, and the kids are afraid. It was scaring the kids.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I'll come down and take a look and see what's up. So I went down there, and I sat down and I waited, and here comes this quote unquote shadow person, and he's like 7 feet tall. He looked like a shadow person if you looked at him with human eyes. And I adjusted my vision. I'm like, really? You're a short, fat, balding guy. Why do you want to look like a shadow person? And he's like, I never got any respect in life, so I'm darn well going to get it now.
Well, we have a member on our team that's a shadow man, so
we call him the Shadow Man because he scares the crap out of people every time.
Well, that's good.
So Corn Bob wants to know, how do you know they're not aliens?
I know. I've connected with an alien versus a demon. Although some people might call them, demon and alien a demon, because there's some nasty ones. The ones I ran into, no.
That's an interesting statement there. EVPs are not your loved ones coming through. It's demons.
No, not always.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, was that you?
That was the beer coming back.
That was the beer. Beer talking. EVP.
Mm-hmm.
We have some weird stuff that goes on in this house, but hopefully not that. So here's a good question. Has June ever had the feeling that the demon she was confronting was the top guy himself, Satan?
Oh, I've talked to Lucifer. Not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
You say that so calmly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 62 years old. I've dealt with him from time to time. And
right.
Usually he usually doesn't do the dirty work himself. Let's put it that way. But when he seeks a favor from Ariel, that's a whole nother situation.
Oh.
And he will, because he respects the Legion of Light. I have a friend in Scotland that he has Hano the Archangel within him. And Hano and Lucifer were great friends before the war. And he still respects him, even though he chose to fight against him. He doesn't have any problem with that. So he comes by and sees him from time to time. And I told him, I said, well, you might want to ask Lucifer's opinion of Ariel the next time you see him. And he came by like a week later. He says, Elle was by. And I'm like, yeah. He says, I asked him what he thought of Auntie June, Auntie Ariel. And he says his words were, respect the assassin. Like, you better respect her. She'll take him out. No problem.
That's for sure.
I wonder if we ever asked for somebody to bring us some flaming hot Cheetos.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, while you're there,
Yeah.
pick me up a bag.
Yeah, there we go. It's like I wish. No, dang it.
So do you believe in a physical place of hell, or is it just
No.
a dimension, or is it
It's a dimension. Yeah,
Okay.
dimension.
I always like to ask that question because
Physical hell would probably be the earth.
Yeah.
it's
Last couple of years. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
And it's funny you say that because I've always had that belief that we are in hell and we have to earn our way out of hell. But I
There's
don't
a
know.
lot of people that think that, let me tell you.
Right.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
So not that I want to get into religion or biblical stuff here, but the question always becomes, like Joey said, the last couple of years there's been some weird bad shit that's happened here on the planet. Is any of that Satan's doing? Or is
Some
a
of
lot
it is, it's the virus is man-made. So, but the thing is, they're taking advantage of it, the negatives, by creating more portals, more dark portals to enter our world and causing more, because stop and think about it. They live off of negative energy. And what do you
Right.
have right now? You have anxiety, you have worry, you have depression, you have anger, you have frustration, all negative things. They're becoming desperate right now. That's why there's so many of them out. I can feel the desperation every time I deal with one of these. I get 25, 30 requests for help a month.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a
So
lot.
and I work full time as a nurse. So I'm trying to do this, my downtime. And, sometimes it takes me a while to get to you, but I get there eventually.
Well, thank you for what you do, by the way, being a nurse. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I've seen that a lot. I've seen that a lot with some of the groups that we follow, that they've mentioned that the rise of demons, there's been a lot more demons showing themselves now than ever before. I've seen that a lot lately. And,
they're becoming so desperate that they're like literally forcing their way into the physical world. It's like a desperate act to attack as many people as they can or to cause as much problems as they can, because the light is growing and the light's pushing them back. And I was talking to God a couple months ago, and he said, he says, there in the next year, there's going to be a steady increase in the light, and the light will push back the darkness, and there will be light workers, people that work for God will see an increase in prosperity, in health and finances and home life. And he says, I just wanted you to know that, this is what we're doing.
right.
Well, I was curious. I'll be on the opposite side of that, because of the pandemic. A lot of people have been in a really dark place. I mean, there's been a lot of the homicide rate has gone up like 30%. I saw this morning.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, and
Oh yeah.
so a lot more evil crap is happening on the earth.
Right.
So with that kind of bad energy, would that also feed
Yeah,
into
they're
being
already
able to manifest more? I mean,
Yeah,
they've kind of manifest themselves in
yeah,
doing
they
those
are.
acts.
They are. They're pushing people to do those acts. They're using their influence, and of course, it's a vicious cycle because they influence someone, which creates fear, which creates pain, and then they grow stronger, and they create. It's like an addict. They need more. They always want more. They always want bigger.
Right.
And it's just the way it is. And I have, I do my part to do the removals and to help people as much as I can. But, I've got there's a bunch of warrior angels out there. People don't realize that there are over 30,000 warrior angels reborn into physical body right now on the earth. And there are another over 300,000 of them in spiritual form walking the earth, protecting mankind and looking for the demons. spiritual warfare.
I just know if we see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, it's over.
We're all in trouble at that point.
Oh, yeah. We could roast him. Yeah.
Right? There you go.
Make s'mores.
Heavy Metal Beer Club asks, do you believe that there is a heaven?
I've seen it. Yeah, when I died and went to the other side, I was talking to Michael, and he took my hand and he says, come look at this. And suddenly a bay window appeared. All I could see was clouds everywhere and white clouds. And he said, look down. And I looked down and I saw every living person in the world. And from each person, there was a piece of string, a thread that came up to where we were. And he said, the ones that are lit up are the people that have made the soul connection, the spiritual connection. The ones that are dark are the ones that have not made that connection yet. And I said, well, if heaven exists, what about hell? And he took my hand and we walked a few steps and he waved his arm and this like black pit opened up and I could hear horrible screams of people just like being tormented and arms reaching up. And then he waved his arm and it closed. I'm like, all righty then. So there we go. After that was when he touched my forehead and said, this is who you truly are. And he showed me Ariel. But I'm like, archangels are kind of cool because they're 7 feet tall. They have 12-foot wingspan.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And they never age. And each person, your brain has to try to figure out what you're seeing. So every person will see it differently. Because the human brain wasn't made to be able to see the complex energy forms. So it manifests in the way of, as we see them, angels being angels and things like that.
And I think that's true because when people are gifted like you and you can see these things, I don't think the average person would have the capacity to be able to know. I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to tell what I was seeing, and I don't even think it would present itself to me because I just don't see.
You're not open to that stuff, right?
So I think that's
not necessarily. My husband is one of these. He's an auditor, very left-brained.
Okay.
And if he can't touch it, feel it, or see it, it don't exist, right? So one day we were going down to visit my cousin at the coast, and we were staying in a timeshare. I was upstairs, and I felt something negative. And next thing I know, my husband's bellowing at me to come downstairs. So I come hauling butt down the stairs, and he's pointing to this shadow person. And he says, what is that? And I'm like, and then it shot out of the kitchen area through the French doors.
Right.
And I looked at him, I said, that, my dear husband, is a shadow person. Welcome to my world. He's like, I never want to see that again. I never want to see that again.
So what causes that though? What causes somebody like him? Because he sounds very similar to me. I have to see it, I have to feel it, I have to touch it.
Yeah, exactly.
For all of a sudden, just to be able to see it like that, what causes
it?
That?
Made him see it. That's the difference.
Okay.
Most of them, if you're a non-believer anyway, and you just walk on by, but it wanted him to see it. And I told him, I said, well, you said if you can't touch it, feel it, or see it, it doesn't exist. So you just saw it. There you go.
You just saw it. That's crazy. Well, I know
being married to me, he's seen things he don't want to see.
I'm sure. That's very interesting. So I know we're getting close on time. So I want to ask you, June. So you're going to be speaking at the event. Are you speaking both days or?
Yes.
Okay. So I know I'm excited to meet you. I mean, I'd love to see what your thoughts are on the jail. So that'll be exciting to see, when we do our tour. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
So, one thing Vicki, I would like you to cover is kind of go over the events that are going to happen at the Paracon, if you would.
Well, Friday night the 1st, we're going to have a meet and greet with the speakers like June and the vendors that are going to be at the event. along with some VIP people that have purchased special tickets just to get the opportunity to meet the speakers one-on-one. But the VIPs will also be able to go on a ghost hunt through the old Doñana County Courthouse and Jail on Saturday night. So, but Friday night is the meet and greet. The Paracon itself starts at 10 o'clock Saturday morning and runs 10 to 6. 8 o'clock is the ghost hunt for the VIPs. And then Sunday, it is also 10 to 6 p.m. So if you happen to miss a speaker on Saturday, they'll be speaking, all of them will be speaking again the next day, covering the same topics. So, and I did that for a specific reason, because there's just no way you can reach or go to every speaker in that 8-hour period. So I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to at least hear everyone and not have to pick and choose which ones to go to. So I think it's going to be so much fun.
Oh, it is. It's going to be, and we're honored to be able to be there with you guys too. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun to do this. We're really excited about it. So,
well, I really, really appreciate you, Joy, Wendy, of course, and Lindsay, all of y'all, with just all of the help that you have given, and the help that you're going to give, because I understand some of y'all are going to come in on Wednesday, so I have a to-do list for you already.
Yes, ma'am. We'll be there.
Everything to get around and get ready, but you guys have been tremendous, and it just goes to show what kind of people really are in the paranormal world. We're not geeks. We're not creepy people. We're very, very nice people, and you guys have really proven that. And so I just appreciate you so much. I really do.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to us, and we love what you do, and we want to support what you do, because if it weren't for people like you, we wouldn't have places to investigate. So it's that take and give, and give and take, and it's just you're right. I mean, the paranormal community, the group that we've built in the last couple of years, just doing this podcast, it's just been incredible. The people we've run into,
it's been life changing.
It really has. Yeah. It really has. So June, I thank you for what you do, and I'm excited to meet you this weekend for sure. And I want to thank you guys for jumping on with us tonight. We really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Have all the VIP tickets been sold already, Vicki, or do we just do
yes, the VIP tickets have sold out.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great to hear. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So y'all will have your hands full Saturday night.
We're looking forward to it. Trust me. We're all excited. And I'll use the word geek. We're all geeking out about it this week. So we're all excited to come out there, which is why we're coming out early. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be glad when it's over, because my head right now is already spinning with so many things going on, and, trying to make sure that I get it right. And, I'm basically doing it by myself. So I apologize to anybody and everybody out there if I have forgotten anything, or if I have overlooked anything or anybody to say thank you or give instructions to. I really apologize to that, but you can call me anytime, day or night, email me, and I'll get the answers for you right away.
Oh, give a shout if you need help. The Oregon Ghost Conference is like 15 years old. I've been there I've been there almost every year. So
that's wonderful. I've never been to a paranormal conference or convention. A lot of people say, I just didn't wake up one day and decide to do this. Well, I did. I just woke up one day and decided to do this.
Sure you did.
Yes,
we know you all did.
What was I think? I don't know. I don't drink, but I think if I did start drinking, my thoughts would be a lot clearer and connections. And
you'd have company.
You would. That's true.
It's only going to get bigger and better. You'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I just really appreciate all of y'all, and I'm really kind of looking forward to it, and just hope we all have a really good time.
We will. I guarantee we're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's a given.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it gets me away for a few days from my husband.
There you go. That's always a good thing too,
Yeah, the husband and the dogs, the pit bulls. Yeah.
Just so you know, June, we can't edit this out. This is live, so
that's okay. You don't listen anyway. We've been married too long for that.
There you go.
33 years. Yeah.
I get that. Yep. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations to that. But
Yeah.
thank you both for coming on. June, especially. I do apologize what happened with the little email mix up, but I
That's
appreciate you jumping
I
on
got
with
it.
us. It's great that you decided to jump on with us tonight, and I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you this weekend. We all do.
Yeah.
We all look forward to seeing you
Yeah.
this weekend. So,
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see you this weekend then.
all right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
All righty.
And thank you, Vicki, for putting such a great group together
Yes.
for this.
Yeah,
That's-
no. Thank you guys, and we'll
That's
see
awesome.
all of y'all on Friday for sure. And
Absolutely.
yeah, let's just make a weekend out of it. How's that?
That works.
yeah.
That works for
Oh,
us.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
All
All
right,
right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
They're
Wow.
awesome.
Now I'm just really excited.
I know. And thank you for the love that all you were giving Vicki
Yeah.
in the comments, and June too. I mean, they were awesome tonight. Sorry, I was trying to keep up the comments the best I could, but I was.
Yeah,
really-
I can't imagine what Vicki's been going through putting this together.
I'm surprised she hasn't started drinking because I would. Yeah. When you guys get to meet Vicki, she's an incredible person. She really is. I mean, we've had a blast working with her at the jail the last couple of times we went. She's been extremely receptive to us, and it's just such a neat place. And I'm actually depressed that it's getting turned into a hotel
I
because
know.
it's such a cool place to investigate.
It's gonna be a haunted hotel. So
It will be.
It'll be great. Great
So-
place to stay.
There'll be no vacancies there. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're really excited about doing it. And just so you guys can see, I'm gonna go ahead and I think I still have it on here, don't I?
The flyer?
I have the flyer on here, but I thought I had the little video that I made. But we'll put the flyer up. So this weekend, October 2nd and 3rd, Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Paracon going on. And I'm pretty sure this is the little video I made. So I'll play this real quick just to show you guys. Creepy. Oh, what happened? The thing came back up. That's weird.
You're covering my face.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cover your face up there.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
That's gonna be a very exciting weekend for us. And we have a busy couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah, we do. But if you want to see a little bit of the Doña Ana County Courthouse and Jail, go visit our episode 213.
Well, you had that ready to go. didn't you?
I did.
That's
I
awesome.
had to look it up. And there's a really good interview with Vicki on there.
Yeah, it was. We were all masked up, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun episode. Go check that out.
Episode 213.
213. Go check it out. And speaking of episodes, so those of you who joined us for Parapalooza this weekend, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of great guests on. If you didn't join us, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. Go back and watch it. Go to Parapalooza YouTube, and you can watch all the events that happened this weekend, which we had some really incredible guests on. It was really a lot of fun.
It went so fast.
It did. It went really fast. Well, it was only 2 days. So,
Well, true.
but still.
But I mean, it seemed like just a couple hours
right.
total. But yeah, I mean, really, it was over 12 hours worth of,
Yeah, it was.
So.
But it was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't been there yet, please go check out our Parapalooza YouTube channel. Go subscribe, go share it with your friends, and go to Truth About Beer or TTABA, The Unexplained on YouTube, and go give us a subscribe and like and share and do all that kind of fun stuff.
We like the love.
We like the love. We made an announcement this weekend that I kind of want to share with you guys tonight too, as well. That we started doing the live thing during COVID. And it was for a good reason. Everybody's locked in their houses, nothing else to do. So we figured, why not, do some live stuff. But, Joey and my passion was doing what we did before, producing our episodes, putting a lot of content into them, and really putting a good a good show out there for you guys to, have some education, I'll say, beer education. But no, we really enjoy doing the episodes the way we used to do them, and we're going to kind of go back to doing that. I'm not going to say we're going to get rid of the live stuff altogether. We're going to still do live stuff. It probably won't be every week.
No, still do the paranormal talk.
Still do the paranormal talk. Yep.
Yeah.
When we have guests on.
So
we will be doing that. So, but don't fret, because next Tuesday,
I'm fretting already.
Don't fret.
Oh.
We have a really good show coming up for you guys, because I read the other day, and it really surprised me that in Germany they've canceled Oktoberfest.
Damn.
What the shit is that? Because of the Rona. I was upset.
What I was trying to think of the word in German.
I have no idea.
This word for shithead. I can't remember what was it.
If you know that, I'd be impressed.
Doomkopf. I think I can't remember. No, it's a dumb head, right? So, well, what's a Scheitkopf? I don't know.
I like that. But have no fear. We are going to bring our very own Oktoberfest next Tuesday. So we're going to each pick our favorite Oktoberfest beer, present it, and give you guys a little history on Oktoberfest, how it started, how it,
featuring the guru of the suds himself, Jeff Stay.
He's going to be hanging out with us. Yeah. That'll be fun. It'll be fun to pick we'll make him work for this one.
We'll learn a little bit more about Oktoberfest than what we thought we knew.
And we're going to have brats.
Oh, that's right.
So we're going to brats and beer.
Bring your appetite. Or, well, you cook your own damn brats.
BYOF, bring your own food. and bring your beer. Bring your own beer. But no, we want you guys to share what your favorite Oktoberfest beer is too. So get that ready for next Tuesday. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
And everybody wear your lederhosen.
Do we have lederhosen?
I don't know. Oh, I want to see if anybody else wears lederhosen.
That would be great.
That would be fun. Yeah.
And I want to throw a little teaser out to you guys right now. Should we? Should we do it?
Oh, I love being teased.
So this will probably be the first actual episode that we do coming back after the Oktoberfest.
And there's hints behind us, right? Oh no, I got to go this. Well, that worked either
way. That worked too.
Go that way.
There's your hint.
See that fine.
Is that Jack? No, it's not Jack. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure who that was. But anyway.
It's like a wedding party gone wrong, doesn't it?
It kind of does. Huh? Well, that dude's in jeans, so I don't know about that.
I don't know. It looks like almost, well, it's at least a prom dress or something.
That's your cousin from Boston guy. That's the guy with the jeans, right? That's the Sam Adams commercial.
Yeah.
So here's a little teaser of what we got coming for you guys. So enjoy this. Oh, it's gonna be so
I can feel the excitement through the chat.
Let's see what the chat says. If anybody's got any comments on that. Was that oh shit for us, Wendy? for that episode there? That is gonna be fun. Yeah. That is gonna be a lot of fun. And
yeah, if you watched our top 10 favorite episodes show, that was
both of ours.
Both of
it?
ours, yeah. When we did the first Undead Rising.
What episode was that? 203, was it?
Let me bring that back up again.
I want to say it was episode 203. I'll be amazed if I got that right.
I think so, because 202 was the UFOs.
Was UFOs.
So, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very next week.
No, it was 203. Yeah. Yep. Episode 203.
203. Damn it. I got it right on.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's been one of our most watched episode. So
it has. It's done really
so we
well.
got to give you more.
So we got to give, and plus we love zombies.
Yeah.
So it'll be a lot of fun. Plus you'll see Joey and I and Jack in our zombie killing abilities again.
Zombie slayers.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. We're excited about doing that. Yeah. So we got some good things coming up for you guys. Possibly in the future, another alien story.
Yes, another hybrid.
So lots of good things on the horizon, folks. So we really appreciate you guys sticking with us. Again, don't forget to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, share the love. We want to build up this channel so we get more people exposed to our content. If you like what we do, please leave us a comment as well. Not just on here, but on our YouTube channel. That really goes a long way once you start commenting on there. So we know Christine has gone back and watched every episode we've ever done. So we thank Christine for that. Really appreciate the loyalty there. But yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up, and maybe even make an episode out of this trip from Doniana.
Yeah. Oh, we do have the greatest fans in the world.
We do. We absolutely do. We love you guys, and we thank you guys for your support. Even though some of our episodes have been, not very thought provoking.
Well, it's just because we do everything off the cuff. We don't really prepare a whole lot, but we have fun. So.
But we have a disclaimer that says that, though, because it is really the beer talking.
Yeah, most of the time.
99% of the time. But yeah, we if you guys go back to our first and second season, we have some really good episodes. Some that I don't think got the attention they should have gotten. So
no, really not.
No.
I mean, the other one that was both of our favorites was our selfie-sode. Yeah, and that one got very low numbers. But,
I was surprised too.
Yeah.
We talked about people taking selfies and dying. I mean, how is that not like an attention getter there?
Yeah.
Oh, here. Okay. I'll sell it right now. For those of you that haven't gone and seen our selfie-sode, go back and watch Joey and I make asses of ourselves using the Snapchat app. Yeah,
that's worth the price of admission right there.
If that doesn't sell you on the episode, nothing will. Forget the people dying, but no, it was great. It was a great episode. It was a lot of fun to film. Got some bloopers out of that episode, I think, too. So good times. But we're out of time, folks. But thank you so much for being loyal supporters of us. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. We'll let you know how we make out there at Las Cruces. And then the weekend we come back, we will be out at Vulture City, Paracon. And then we can finally start doing some episodes after that.
That's right.
Because we should be done with all of our expeditions.
Boy, I've got the old beer burps.
Hold on. Why is this making me laugh so much? What's making you laugh so much? If you want to laugh, go watch our zombie episode, because Joey and I were both drunk and filming that episode, literally drunk.
Take two. Yeah.
Take two. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway, we are out of time, folks. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget, bring your beer and brats next week, because we are doing Oktoberfest.
Gosh, it's going to be October. I love it.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
My favorite month of the whole year.
Oh, I do want to say this before we leave. We will be doing a Halloween episode.
Okay.
I just don't know. I'm thinking maybe the Tuesday before Halloween, we'll do a live Halloween episode. I'm just spatting that off right now. So, because we had a lot of requests for that this week.
Yeah, we did.
So we need to do a Halloween episode.
And we need to try to enlist some true ghost stories or real ghost stories from our listeners.
I was just going to ask that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No. And just means you and I are on the same thought process. So yeah, we want to hear your ghost stories. So if you want to come on the show and share your ghost stories, let us know in advance. Don't let me know the night before, but let us know in advance. We can send you a link for the show. We can bring you on. You can share your ghost story with everybody. We'd love to hear real ghost stories.
Because we want to believe you.
Sorry, I wasn't pointing at the same time you were.
Is that from Ghostbusters, wasn't it? We're here to believe you.
Believe you.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have Ray Parker as my outro. That sucks.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Good night, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.